All right, welcome to the Iron Sharpening Iron Show. I'm your man, Big Jack. This is where we prove we are stronger together, that if each one could just reach one, we can all grow and glow. And today is just another beautiful day, another awesome more opportunity to learn some things. I know I'm going to learn some things today, and I'm excited about it. We got a very special guest, so I don't even want to hesitate on getting this show started. So let me get my man up on the stage so we can kick off this show. So give me 1 second to get him up on the stage. My man, Walt Talks. What's up, my brother? What's going on?
My man, what's happening, Big Jack? How you doing, sir?
Oh man, I'm loving it. It's another opportunity to be on the stage, hang out with you, and we got an awesome guest today, and I'm super excited about just getting ready to learn some things today. You know that's what the show is about, right?
Yeah, I'm a little rusty in that game, man. So I'm sure I'm looking forward to learning a few things myself. Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you this question. I know. Have you ever purchased property or especially commercial property before?
Yeah. Apartment buildings, small units, nothing over 5 units. Couple rental houses. A couple were managed by a management company, and I played landlord myself on 1 or 2, and I'm proud to say I'm pretty much out of that game right now. You know what I mean? Yeah, I pretty much got out of that game about 11 years ago. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's always been a fear of mine. So I'm hoping that maybe this will get me over that edge and take away the fear, because that was always a fear of mine of getting into something that I didn't know anything about. So So
not even 11 years. Actually, it's been more like 2018. It was before COVID. Yeah, my last unit I sold. My next to last unit I sold before COVID. Yeah.
All right. Well, look, let's not hesitate. Let's get our guests up on the stage, and we're going to do some talking. So let me get them up on the stage. All right, welcome to the stage, Michael Ealy. How you doing, sir?
What's up, man? Hey, I'm just blown away with these intros, man. I'm like, all that animation and Walt coming in and Iron Sharpening. I said, man, this is a real show.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely a real show, and I'm glad to have you here on the stage, hanging out with us, and I'm super excited. So you are on the Iron Sharpening Iron Show. We are live. We're live on YouTube, live on Facebook. And then we'll cut some of the clips that you're going to talk about today, and we'll put them on Instagram and TikTok and all. So we're trying to spread the word, to spread what you're doing. And I'm going to tell you right now, I have no clue. So you're going to definitely be helping me way more than I can help you on this one. So this is going to be an iron sharpening.
I guess so.
You're going to be just swinging at me on this one.
It's story time, baby. That's why I call you Big Jack. Story time, baby.
That's right. That's right. So look, and without anyone, no one knows. I know who you are, but a lot of people want to know who you are. So can you do a brief introduction of yourself, and then we can ask you a couple of questions?
Yeah, sure. So Mike Ealy, I've done over $400 million in real estate, inclusive apartments and hotels. I had 4, but I just sold 2 of them. Got about 1,500, 1,800 apartments, a few houses. But you know what? The balance sheet doesn't really tell the real story. Honestly, man, I lost everything. I was broke. I was homeless. I ended up moving back home with my mom and dad. And I guess they didn't expect me to come back around I was 30, and they painted my room pink and lavender. And literally, I went from, making, $300,000 to $500,000 a year, because I got up to about 20 units and 2 full service car washes, and I lost it all. And I went from them paying my bills, and I was living in, they kept my twin bed, and it had that old sailor headboard. I'm 30 years old.
Wow.
And in my room's purple with pink lavender roses embroidered around there. So that was a little motivation.
I was about to say, that's a motivator right there, Jack.
Sure. And, they called the kids on the street, called me 4 flats, because every morning I got out of my car, my tires would leak air. And so that was my everyday. I would have to shake the battery in my car to get the car started. And my first thing was go to the gas station to put air in my tire.
Wow.
And so, you know, I went from making money to my mom and dad paying my bills to I ended up paying their bills to I paid their house off. And so, you know, now we've done, you know, a couple $100 million in deals, and I kind of teach people how to do it themselves. And, you know, we're having a good time, man. But, you know, there's a lot of peaks and valleys, though.
Right, right. And look, and your introduction really took away that first question I had, because I was going to say what inspired you to get there, but I guess
oh no, man!
Purple and Pink Room would inspire me. So
no,
yeah.
I mean, what inspired me, man? Like, I was chasing freedom, man. I didn't want to be in those 9-to-5 handcuffs, you know, and you know, I didn't want to be handcuffed to bills. You know, I was just sharing earlier today. A guy was like ready to throw in the towels. Like, you can't, man. Like, I'm telling you, I graduated in electrical. I went to Tuskegee University. I graduated in electrical engineering, and at the time, you know, I could have made 50, 60 grand, and then worked my way to 100. I ended up taking a job. I was only making like 27,000 a year, but I was so free. Like, he invested in me. I was doing concerts and parties. And that was the beginning of me buying a 2-family. I bought my first 2-family, working on that job. Well, yeah, you know what? I forgot about that, man. I ended up working 3 jobs because my credit was bad. I had bad credit, lower than a golf score. And
And
I'm not even a golfer.
Depends on who playing and where you playing at.
Who's playing and where I'm playing, man.
And so, what happened? Oh, I ended up working 3 jobs, about 70 hours a week.
Wow.
And my day started at 1 a.m. I was throwing newspapers. You know, back then you drive in the car and you put it in a plastic bag, and I was throwing them out the window. AKA I was a grown paper boy. And then I went to the stadium and sold ice cold beer. Cold beer.
Come on.
That was my favorite job, by the way.
Yeah, that's a good job.
I really enjoyed that at the Bengals and at all the Reds games. And then I worked that 9-to-5 I was talking about, and I paid off all my debt. And I used that money to buy my first 2-family, and you couldn't tell me nothing, man. I thought I was like, cause my mortgage, I bought it with that money I saved, $1,000 down. I know you're like, what? Yeah, I negotiated. It was 3,000, but I put 1,000 down. The mortgage payment was 700. I ended up getting the top floor rented. And by the way, I didn't know how to paint or do any carpet. I didn't know nothing. And I got the top floor rented for 500. Then I got a roommate living for 200, right? So that paid my mortgage. I was living rent free. Felt like Rick James from the Dave Chappelle show. I'm rich.
Celebration.
Yeah, I got
It's a celebration.
Yeah. A celebration. Go, Rick.
Wow, that's crazy. So now that was the kickoff. That's what started the ball rolling and getting you to. And was that the fire that lit the fire and said, and now that I did this, I can do more? Is that?
Yeah, I mean, really, man, I've read a book back I was in high school. I was 16 years old, and I didn't like to read. Like, I love math. Like, you give me a math problem, I could create a story with numbers, right? And so that was my thing. I didn't really like to read, but I wanted to make money. And I went to the library one day, and I found a book because I wanted to do the stock market. By the time it was junk bonds. I don't know if you remember, but junk bonds was the
Michael Milken, junk bond king. Yes, sir.
Right? But when I picked it up, the minimum investment was $50,000. Now I don't know, like today that's probably $300,000 to $500,000, right? And I was like, put that book back on the shelf and kept walking down the aisle. And then I came across this book by Robert Allen, Nothing Down. And that was it. I learned about OPM, other people's money, how to use a 401k, how to use credit cards, how to get people to do owner finance. Like, I was like, I could do this. Like, I can do this. And that was the beginning. And here's 20 something years later, the guy that inspired me, ended up being my coach and then my partner.
Oh, wow. Wow.
That's what's up.
Yeah, that
Nice.
is awesome right there. So,
Nice.
yeah, and again, you reading a book, inspiring you, and then would you reached out to the person, or how did y'all come in contact with him to coach you?
So I ended up writing a book myself, From Broke to Millions, kind of sharing my story of, you know, how I got there and how other people can do it, but what I went through and how I did it. And, you know, everybody knew I talked about Robert Allen. And it just so happened one of my students or people I consult was like, yo, guess who I got right next to me? I was like, what are you talking about? And he put Robert Allen on the phone. I was like, no way, bro. And I started talking to him and he was like, whatever. And then I ended up hiring him as a coach and just to learn some skills. Matter of fact, I met, because when I went broke, well, Robert I didn't meet when I was broke, but there was Robert Allen. That was my idol. And Les Brown. I got to meet my idols. Like literally I sat in Les Brown home and chopped it up. But Robert Allen, man, he was so amazing and just learning so much from him. Learning how to coach from the stage. I'll never forget, he helped me speak and sell from the stage one day. And I swear, like, he went the extra mile. And it was like, you know, and Robert, you know, I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, but it was this white older guy, right? He's in his 70s and 80s. And he's just talking to me like I'm his son. Like, look here, don't do this. Do it like this. And then talk like this and then share this and be you. And I went on stage and killed it.
Nice.
And, you know, I just, my someone that inspired me got to inspire me again and coach me to millions. So
right. Wow.
Nice.
That's listening to you talking about actually hiring a coach. You know, you've already in the business. You're talking about you wrote a book and you got people already under you, but you went out and hired a coach to help you get even better. Is that that was the purpose of the hiring of the coach?
Yeah, no, man. I mean, coach, consultant. Like, I mean, think about it. Michael Jordan's got trainers.
Yes.
Okay. LeBron trainers.
Yes.
Tiger Woods.
Trainers. Yeah. Yes.
Right. Like, whether you like him or not, now he probably don't listen, but even Trump got consultants now. He may not listen to him.
Yeah.
But you want to go to the next level, then you consult like King Solomon. Now he was the king of consulting. You know, people travel far and near to hear and paid him.
Right.
But like, what thinks you don't need a coach? Like, you know, now here's the funny thing. When I first started, I would read about this and people like, it's only $1,500 or $500. I'm like, man, I ain't gonna pay that. I'm gonna figure it out on myself, right? You know, being cheap. And cheap basically means DIY, meaning you're doing it yourself, which actually means DYI, delaying your income. And so when I was thinking like that, I sit back and reflect, like, why wouldn't you hire a coach? Why wouldn't you talk to somebody that's going to introduce you to your future self? Instead of taking you 15, 20 years to get there, they can introduce you to your future self in 90 days, 180 days, or 12 months. Like, you know, that's crazy. Why wouldn't you do that? Like they say, man, and here's the crazy thing. I'm glad you said that, Walt. That's why they call you Walt Talks. Because Walt, they seriously, like, somebody told me that, and I was like, I don't have an ego.
Which means you definitely have an ego.
No, but he didn't say I had an ego. He's like, but no, well, no, he did. My partner is like, man, you let the ego get in your way because there's no reason you should be in the situation you in. I was like, you're right. You're right. But I was like, I ain't got no ego. Like I'm a little confident, but I ain't got, but I thought about it. I really didn't think I have an ego. Cause like people come up to me, no matter how big of a deal I was doing. I'm talking to people. I don't care who you are. All right, there's different levels. Right?
That's for those people.
Exactly.
That's for those people. Not me. I'm good. I mean, but those people, they need help. But not me, because I'm Michael Ealy.
No, I didn't even say no.
You don't say it.
No, but you said it.
But you
no,
thinking it.
This is what I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. This is when I figured out. I was like, oh, you do got an ego. I don't really want to ask, because then they gonna think I don't know what I'm talking about.
Man.
And then they think I'm, like this dummy don't know what he doing. And like, look, you ain't gonna go nowhere if you ain't afraid to be embarrassed. And here's the crazy thing though.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody really cares.
Who cares? There you go.
They happy that's your problem. Matter of fact, most people would rather help you because it makes them feel good about themselves, because they got so many problems going on. They're like, oh, you need some help? If I can help you, you just might make my day feel much better.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So why wouldn't you ask for help? So
it is.
Remove the ego and ask for help.
Yeah.
Because he can introduce your future self. And when you start doing that, that's when you're traveling light years. You time traveling. Literally. You're time traveling.
The irony is you found out pretty quickly that you may not know everything that they know, but you know a lot of things that others don't know.
That's
right. You
right.
have a lot of qualities, especially going broke and getting back on top.
Mm. I
mean, a lot of people haven't experienced that, man, and you're still there. And a lot of people, for lack of a better word, may not have taken it the same way.
No, they and while I'm glad, thanks for seeing that. I mean, I've been broke, and I was like, that was tough, right? That was tough. And fortunately, I was younger, and I had no kids, so but then I got to a point, I became broken.
Right.
Oh God,
not the same thing. Two different things, right?
Two different things, right there for sure. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And I appreciate, Michael, that you even said that, because a lot of people wouldn't confess that.
Yeah.
They wouldn't confess that they was in the broken state. Not so much broke. Yeah, I don't have, and the woe is me. But you get to that point where, like, say, you're broken, and now I got to mend. I got to put things back in order. I got to put things, I got to put myself back together and get back on my feet, and get out there and do this thing.
Yeah, like that was crazy. It's like, because broke, I did that, 27. Right?
Yeah.
Man, I hit broken, and when you get broken, and especially late 40s, early 50s, it could be devastating.
Yeah.
The thought of trying to restart and fighting.
But you find out who your friends are real quick, don't you?
Yeah, man. But I'm lucky I have friends, man. And I have to say, because I tithe, I'm a tither. Like, I ain't trying to go there today, but I'll go there. But
gotta go. That's part of it.
I made it through because of my tithe. I was like, man, really, I was like, yeah, it's pretty bad. But you know what? I'm going to be all right, because I've been given. I'm tired. That's coming back. That's just a law. That's a principle.
Man, that's a principle. Yeah, that's a law. Like two inanimate objects falling out the sky at the same time. They fall into the law of gravity. They want to hit there it is. So,
and look, man, I'm telling you, man, money was not flowing for about 2 years for me, man.
Okay.
And I had a project I've been working on. I ain't even got paid for 4 or 5 years. We'll get into that in a minute. But my point is, I got a deal done, and I'm not saying this to brag. I'm just saying how God's good and how everything works out. The work is always working. I closed the deal that almost went sideways, and we end up making money. And here's the great thing: we end up making $6 million on a hotel deal, not just for me, but for all my investors.
Wow.
And when I ain't had no cash, I ended up putting $800 in my pocket, right? Immediately took money, gave to the church, paid the church van off, and did a couple other things over there, because that was my time. Like that.
Yes, sir.
I'm getting banked up to multiply, brother.
It is. Shake it up and press it down, huh?
Man, because I'll never forget when I was broke before. I don't know if you ever heard of this First Fruits. Somebody was telling me about that. I was really studying, man. Like what got me here is deep meditation and prayer, man. Like if you really, I'll break it down how you really make money. But if you really want, it's about identity. You got to identify with that future person, right? Because you only attract what you are.
Right.
You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. So you got to become that thing. And in order to become that thing, you got to meditate and pray on it. You got to attract that energy. And so when I went broke the first time, I read about first fruits, and it was like, you got to give up your whole check and give it in. I was like, man, you crazy, man. Ain't nobody giving up their own money. I'm broke. I got evicted out of my own home. I was foreclosed on. I'm living with mom and dad, and I'm reading this. Give it all, and showing you really believe it. But it's mentally, spiritually, psychologically, like the one thing you love, you giving it away. Like I was in love with money. I ain't gonna even front. Like I was, I was in love with money, but I gave it away freely. Now I can't say it was freely because it did hurt.
Right,
I did think like, but I'll never forget. I gave $1,500. I ain't made money in months. Remember, I'm broke. I'm at home. My mom and dad paying my bills. The $1,500, I gave it to the church because they had like part of the church was leaking. So I put a team in, they waterproof one side, and the church was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you did that. You really want to do it? I was like, yeah. And it's like, I'm going to match it. So literally right in front of me, I saw my money double.
There it is.
All right, they did the other side. Then 30 days later, now I was a realtor. I wasn't getting no sales. I sucked. All right, I sucked. All of a sudden, I get a $10,000 check. I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah.
First fruits. So
and that's working. That's biblical. That's definitely biblical, and it's true. It's just the fact that, like you say, you have to be willing to do it. You got to be willing to give up. And give up the first. Like you say, I'll give you some, but no, would you give me the first part? If like me and Walt sitting here, and Walt's hungry, and I'm hungry, but will I give Walt my sandwich? And it's that willingness to give it up is like, okay, here's not only the sandwich you gave up, but here's more sandwiches because you were willing to give up that little bit.
And if my half will get you fed, and we can enable us to work together, we can both eat more down the road. But let me ask you this, Michael, if you don't mind, back up for a minute.
Yeah.
Give me about the years that you went broke. Was it the 2008 situation?
No, you know what? Funny. Funny. I made money in 2008. The Great Recession. I got paid. That's when I built my wealth.
Cash is king. Right. Okay.
I lost money. Let's see. I bought my first deal in 1999.
Okay.
Yeah, little red Corvette, I started growing, and then 3-4 years later, I lost it all. I got up to like 20 units total, and I had 2 full service car washes. I was about $300,000-$400,000 a year.
Okay.
I was 27, 28, had the Infinity Q45. I had the 10 disc changer in the back. You couldn't tell me nothing, bro.
Nothing. 10 discs.
Green with the peanut butter interior, leather. Oh, whoa, doing L's. I was doing L's.
Okay.
And lost it all. They almost repoed my car. My house has got foreclosed on. And then, but through that, the crazy thing, I learned how to do short sales.
Okay.
Through that, I learned the importance of buying mortgage notes.
Okay.
So then after that, I became a realtor to get back on my feet. I watched other people buying deals, but I was guiding them. And after I showed them how to do I did 3 or 4 deals for them. I was like, you know what? I'm going to show other people how to do this. And I had success after the first 3 or 4 deals. And I was like, man, it's time to do it on my own. Cause I made them like 30, 40 grand a deal. And I was like, well, let's go. And then when the Great Recession came, it was crazy because I had a little cash and I had a couple investors. But houses, at least in Cincinnati, I'd never seen them this low. They were selling for like $1,000, $10,000.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And I was buying mortgage notes that were worth 100,000, 150. I was buying them for 18,000. I was buying them for like 10 cent, 18 cent on the dollar.
Wow. That's how.
And I crushed it. And then I was buying stuff, and then I knew neighborhoods were transforming. Like I knew the highway was coming. So I ended up buying properties around where this new highway was coming. And it was the hood, you know, and for the other words, it was D minus F minus neighborhoods. And I was buying stuff for $500 to $1,000 each.
But they needed it to build a highway.
They came back. Put it like this, I had one, somebody stole the siding. I made more money off the insurance job than, like, they paid me 30 grand and because they stole the siding. I was like, sweet, I'm loving this. I made all my money back already.
Money,
But all those parcels I bought, I sold for like 80,000 to 180,000. And then when the Great Recession came, oh my gosh, I was winning and helping people at the same time. I was buying their house, restructuring it and leasing it back to them. Or if they didn't want to do it, I just bowed it outright. And then even mortgage notes that I bought. Matter of fact, I got 2 notes I still own. The guy was like, man, the rate jumped up. He was at like 850, 900, but it jumped up to 1,300. I just simply went in like, hey man, what's going on? And I sat with him, met him at his favorite bar, and talked to him about his house. And I said, what's the problem? He said, man, them rates jumped up. I said, what can you afford? I said, man, I can't afford that 1,300, 1,400, but you know, I can do 1,000. I said, you sure? He said, yeah. I said, what about 900? Man, I definitely can do 900. I said, you sure? 100%. Like, I do that. Okay, cool. Your mortgage payment is $850 now. He ain't been late since.
Right.
It is.
That's what's up. So look, Mike. Now we got people out there that's on the fence. They're thinking about doing what you said you can do and have. As far as we didn't even talk about how you're doing it. We're just saying that you've done it. And there's people on the fence. But the fear, a lot of people, is the part that you said you went broke or you did. So you were doing it. And can you explain, or are you open to explaining what happened to cause you to lose it all and then getting it back? Was it something that happened, or because I want to invest?
I'm gonna give you the quick, and then I'm gonna tell you the real deal. All right. So the quick and heavy is, I really didn't have the education. I didn't understand my numbers, right? But the biggest thing, I didn't have any reserves. I was just taking stuff out of the account, you know, just paying myself. It wasn't I can't even say that. I was just cash, put in my pocket, move on. But I did kind of over leverage on some of these deals.
Okay.
I was a little over leveraged, but you know, I wasn't focused. I didn't have any systems in place. I didn't have any project performers or budgets in place, right? So those are the things that really did me in. All right. So that's one. Now, here's the thing though. Anybody can do it big. Anybody can be a millionaire. Get into a billionaire status, that's different. You know, you gotta have energy and want to work. Okay. So I ain't crushing nobody's dreams, but but to get to 3 to 5 million, you can do that. I'm just being clear. You can get to 3 to 5 million. But as I was sharing earlier, man, you got to identify with that future person and see everyone's, there's a valley in everyone's vision, but there's a valley between everyone's vision and victory. All right. And so this is what happens. I don't care who you are. This is what's going to happen. Right. And so what happens is you start up with this vision that you got. God sent you a vision. I don't care. You came up with the vision came, and you so optimistic, like, yeah, we're going to kill it. We're going to lose weight. We're going to make millions. We're going to do all these things. We're going to have kids. We're going to do, dogs and big houses and everything. And then you jump right in. And then all of a sudden, that's what they call uninformed optimism, right? I didn't tell you all about that. But then all of a sudden you start to get into it and then be like, wait a minute. What was this? I didn't know about this. That's what they call uninformed pessimism, right? They didn't know that there were some hardships. They didn't know that they needed this type of education to do it. And then what happened, they start digging deeper into a hole. Next thing you know, they find themselves in the valley. And they're like, well, wait a minute. I probably shouldn't be doing this. And at that moment, most people turn back around. It's like, this wasn't for me. And they repeat that cycle over and over and over and over. And what happens is they in that valley and they never learn the lesson. And for some in that valley, that's where they become broken. But yet and then I like to say, you become into this life sewer full of manure, but yet the greatest roses come out of the messiest manure.
Right.
That's right. And so, but even in that manure, you got to believe in that vision because God gave you a vision. You saw it. You know it's real. It's the truth. So you have to take steps toward that vision every day. That's the whole thing about faith with no works is dead. Because when you take steps, that's saying you have belief in it, right? Because it's all about belief. The problem is in most people's belief, there's a lie in the middle of their belief. Look at the BELIEF, lie. There's a lie, so they get stuck in the valley and they turn around. But what I'm telling you is you got to go dark, deeper, and then sometimes you'll break, but yet that grows into this beautiful flower that then becomes a tree, that then becomes a legacy, a family tree. And then you start to grow with informed pessimism. You know the stuff is about to hit you. You know there's chaos. You know there's uncertainty. But because you keep in motion and you have this belief, you keep going, and then you have informed optimism. And next thing you know, you climbed up, you're at the vision, and you're back at the peak of the mountaintop where you see the sunrise and sunset.
Yeah. And look, and I 100% agree. One of the things I do say a lot of times, even when I was pastoring it all, was the fact to get to the next mountaintop, you must go through the valley. You have to go through the valley. There's no way to get to the next mountaintop without going through the valley. So I appreciate that, Michael, that you're just saying, a lot of people turn around. They don't know that, say, I have to go through this to get to the other side, but when you know that there's a blessing at the other side, what the vision is on the other side, you push through. And bam, there it is. It was just right there. It wasn't that far away.
And I want to share the bigger the vision,
right,
the deeper the valley, the bigger the pain.
Yeah.
The bigger the pain. Like Elon Musk was like, because I knew this pain. He was like, man, he was short. He had, I know this is like, he had like 80 million left. Like, I know, like,
I know, but it's relative. It's all relative.
And he was like, man, it was my last. And I had to put it I put it in Tesla that's burning a hole in my pocket, or I put in my rocket ship, or I'm going to lose. I need to use all of it in one, else I'm going to lose everything. So we split it up. But he was like, it was so painful. He was like, it was like staring into the abyss while chewing on glass. I was just like, golly. Like, and literally when you go through that dark spot, it's like, you just move and you have no idea what's going on. You're just staring in space trying to get to the next one. But I'm just telling you, it's right on the other side. It's right over there at the top of the mountain. You just got to keep going.
All right. So Mike, I know so you teach classes. So you actually teach people on how to do this. So tell us a little bit about your class. What could I do, or any one of my guests or people that's in the chat watching and viewing? How can they be part of the class if they're interested in moving to this level?
Yeah, I mean, Man, unfortunately, we're shutting the class down for a while.
Oh, wow.
This is the last one. I do have some Big Deal Master Class. Was it Big Deal Mike Master Class? They can go there, see some webinars. The reason why I'm focusing, I got a large project in Sarasota. It's a $125 million deal, hotel, condos. I'm getting that out of the ground. And then I got a few affordable housing project deals that I'm working on where the money is just flowing right now as far as affordable housing and subsidies and incentives. And so, I just want to be focused on that. I love teaching. I love educating. I love people helping them get into transformation. But, right now I'm just raising capital, doing more deals. So, they can, where do they catch me? I don't know, Instagram, LinkedIn, Nassau Mike Ealy. All you got to do is DM me. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. All you got to do is DM me and, say you're interested or whatever I can help you with.
Right. Now we'll make sure we can get your links in the chat too. And once this show is over, we'll put it out there. Walt, you had something up there.
Tell me about your name, Nassau Investments. Help me out with that. Mm-hmm.
Well, you want the real story, or you?
Yes, sir. So you were in Nassau, had an epiphany. It came to you. You got on the plane.
Yeah. So no, so not what happened.
Okay, my man, talk to me.
So, my 26th birthday. I'm gonna tell you the real story. So my 26th birthday. I'm in LA. Mm-hmm. It's all. Well, I was supposed to be in LA on my birthday, but I was supposed to be hanging with some of my frat brothers, but I didn't make it.
Sorry, which is?
Oh, D side. So again, everything I do is entrepreneur. So we even started our own frat in college. I went to Tuskegee University.
Right.
And so, and you can ask anybody, D-Side ran the yard for like the entire time I was there. We had capitalists, Qs, everybody. And I love the Qs. I love capitalists, but we had the, we
ran the yard. My man.
But anyway.
Continue.
Oh man, what was I talking about?
So you
supposed to be hanging with your frat brothers.
Hanging out with your frat brothers.
In LA.
LA. Yeah. So I was in LA and he couldn't come get me. So I ended up calling my buddy 20 and Bill. And Bill just happened to be 20. They had a casting company and Ja Rule was like the hottest artist right there. Mm-hmm. I go out on the beach and my first day in LA, I'm hanging with Ja Rule, Irv Gotti, and then I meet everybody. I mean, LL Cool J. I mean, he got it paid. Oh my gosh, it was one of the best trips ever. And so all the guys had a nickname. And I'll never forget, it was a Saturday night. We all sitting at the beach, just talking it up and the sun shining in. And then next thing you know, like they have all these Italian mafia names like Alex Black, Tommy Two Step. You got to have a name. And I was like, huh. I was like, because those cool names, like you remember those names. So I was like, well, I lived on Nassau and my cousin name was Mark. So I ended up calling myself Mark Nassau. And then that was my alter ego. And then once I started getting my business going, I wanted people to think about spaceships or going out of space or the Bahamas.
Yeah.
And so then that's why I went Nassau Investments and I did the blue colors because I was thinking about the psychology of relaxing in blue and everything.
And it's working for me, 100%.
All right, that's good.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I was wondering, man, because it's like as soon as I saw your background and I saw your name, I'm like, okay. I would love to know what the story is behind that, man. So thank you for sharing that, Mike.
Yeah.
So now what does it take for someone to be an investor? So someone's thinking I know you say you're looking for capital now, but what does that mean for those are watching and, those of you talking to and coming up to? What are you looking for? And what could they do?
So it's really, it's not really me. I mean, yes, I'm always looking for investors, right? We're looking for deals that they can part, anywhere from 25 to 50 million. We work with everybody, but really it's not about me. It's about what service I can provide and how can I help these people with their money problems. I know you'll be surprised, but there's a lot of people out here with money problems.
Say it ain't so.
They got money and they don't know what to do with it, or they don't have time to manage their money. Like everybody's got a problem. And quite frankly, there's so what we have 236 million. I think the new population is 300 million, but at one time we had 253 million, but I think we had 300 million. 23 million of those people are millionaires of the US population. And out of that 10%, that top 10%, no, that's 8%. They hold over 72 trillion. So just there to help people. But then there's people like doctors, lawyers making 3, 4, 5, 6, 700 a year. They don't have any money. And so, you can't look at it like, oh, what money you need. It's really about how can I help them with their money problem. So, I'm just the doctor that prescribes a subscription or a routine for them to place it in something that gives them the returns that they need, give them the tax breaks that they need. Some people just, surprisingly, some people are like, look, I don't want any more cash. I need a tax break. And if you can, make sure my money's there, but it grew. And that's what we do. We put them in deals where, especially now Trump brought this big, beautiful bill. Well, the one thing I do like about it, brought back what they call bonus depreciation. And so what that means is I could do $1 million in renovations. And I don't care how big you are. You got $100,000 house, a $200,000 house, you put $100,000 renovation. Guess what? You can write that off the first year. Normally, you would write that off over a 27 and a half year period. You can write that off that 100,000. Just think about that. If you did a 2-family, you get 100,000 write off. And imagine if you were making 70 grand a year and you had to pay taxes. So you were paying 15, 20,000 taxes, but you got $100,000 write off. That wipes that gain. You're getting a refund back.
Yes. Wow.
Can you imagine? So I got people that's worth, forget worth. I got people that's making $5 million a year. Do you realize they're not paying any federal taxes because of bonus depreciation, cost segregation, and accelerated depreciation?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, like I said in the beginning of the show, you teaching me, so I'm definitely here, and my eyes and ears are wide open, and I'm listening because of the fact that you want to know. I want to know, and a lot of stuff we hear so much negative about what's going on that you don't hear the positive. So it's good that you were able to drop, some knowledge, and we can say, okay, I didn't know that, because I know I'm not the only one that's probably listening, that's going to listen, that didn't know that part of the story. So I appreciate you dropping that knowledge right there. What's the scary part? I mean, I know you talk about a lot of success. I know you had your times where you lost, and you said that getting through the valley and all. But when you look at a property now, what are you looking for? What's those 3 things or 3 or 4 things that you look at when you IDing or saying, hey, I want to go into this property, I'm looking at this property? What are you looking at?
Well, I know you hear the whole thing, location, right? But location didn't make me rich. Creating value made me wealthy. And so, when I look at a deal, I am looking at location, but the real thing is, can I push the rents? And so some of you are like, well, where do we find the rents at? How do you go to rentameter.com? I got a free trial for you, but you can find out what the rents are. And if you can push the rents $100, $200, $300 from the existing market, man, you may have a deal. Or if the value is below the market value, you may have a deal. But then I look at what will it cost me to renovate it? What will it cost me to get it to that point where I can charge $12, $13, $14, $15, $2,000, right? What do I have to do? And so if that renovation stay below that market value and I can keep pushing rents, man, you just created value. And so now then I'm looking at, okay, that's great. Now what's my cash on cash, right? What's my equity multiple? Like, am I making 10% on my money a year? Am I making 12%? Can I get to 18%? Like ideally, people want to double their money every 5 years. At least if you don't know, your goal as an investor, at least a passive investor, passive meaning you're just handing over the keys to the mobile and sitting in the back seat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's driving you around to the deals. You want to be able to double your money in 5 years, or at least get close to it. And so that's what they call a 2X.
Buy for one, sell it for two.
Yeah, there you go. And if you can do that, and you can get, average, 8 to 10% on your money, that's cool. Now you start to get 12 to 14% on your money, you're killing it. Now me, when I first started, I was buying in D and F neighborhoods. I was making 18 to 25% on my money. I was buying stuff for, 10, 15,000, but I'm renting for, all in for 20, but I'm renting for 600 to 800. And then I sold it for 30, so that was just my thing. But that's really what I look for, man. Location, can I push the rents? Can I create value? But like real estate is just like life. Whenever I work with somebody, can I create value for them? If I can't, I don't want to do it. If I can't create value on this deal, I don't want to do it. If I'm in a relationship, we can't create value, I don't want it.
You don't want it, yeah. Now, is this something that you would need your own contractors, or how does that work as far as you're already saying you're going to try to flip it, you're going to renovate it?
Contractors are crazy, man. They speak a whole different language, man.
Okay.
I mean, you just got to understand the thing about contractors. You got to understand numbers. You got to understand your cost, and you got to be firm, and you got to document everything with contractors. That's it. Because they always come back trying to bill for more. They always try to alt talk you, but like whenever somebody do a job, I'm like, even if they charge, I'll pay a little more, but I'd like, man, how long are you working on this job? How many hours? How much in material? And I ain't really tripping. You mark it up, but I was like, okay, no, that job don't take 48 hours or 72 hours or 48, 40 hours to do. Right, that's a 5-hour job with $100 in labor, material. You're not going to charge me $3,000 for that.
So, have you ever partnered with a contractor?
Yeah,
on a deal.
Yeah, I mean, really, my partner Nate. I mean, that was his claim. Like he ran contracting, so that's how we controlled the cost.
There you go.
I mean, honestly, a GC or a contractor, I mean, those can be some of the best partners if, if they're reasonable and understanding cost.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It all sounds good. Like I say, it is, and a lot of people, and that's me over here. Like, what's the catch? And I appreciate you breaking it down, because that's where, prior to talking to you today, that's my mindset. What's the catch? I don't want to invest. I don't want to put nothing out there because, it's high risk. You just don't know. Yeah. But people are always going to need a place to stay.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, so that right there is like the risk. It's almost like you're getting something, but it's still it's risky, and that's the scary part. Go ahead, Walt.
So to his earlier point, go back to his first deal. He bought a 2-family. So he needed a place to stay anyway, like everyone else, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then basically he was able to live in the place that he bought rent-free.
Mm-hmm.
So for the average person that's starting out, that concept right there immediately would appeal to them. Because, you got to start somewhere, right? So you need a place to live anyway. So if I can get a place to live and I can rent part of it out, and still get my part of the rent paid. And then, Michael, I think you said you got a roommate, right? So so you were really doing okay with it. And but even if you didn't, if you were living downstairs and renting out the upstairs, and if you were living for $100 a month, so what? You know, I mean, like that's still below market value. And then the other thing is, I'm kind of chuckling because, like you said, I think you said you're in Cincinnati, right?
Mm-hmm.
And man, $1,300 will get me in DC a 1-bedroom overlooking the dumpster, overlooking the dumpster in the alley. You know what I mean, man? So it's all relative, man. It's all, but then again, you know, back to your rates, but your rents, and it's all relative. So I get it, man. But I just when you said 1,300, just kind of chuckled.
Yeah, no, you get, and even the nice stuff is still cheaper than your joints. Nice is 2,400.
Yeah, but no matter where you go, cash is king. Good credit is king. So long before you make your first deal, man, if you work on yourself, get your cash, especially your credit. Get your credit going, your cash, and that other people's money thing is big. So yeah, I get it.
What I'm glad you brought up is everybody, you don't have to do 100 unit.
Right.
Like and like you said, you in DC, you know, a 10 unit may be banging in DC, right? A
2-unit flat.
Yeah, a 2-unit, a 4-family, and you living free. Like you gotta realize that was 1990, whatever, 1990, 2000. I was making, my net check was $1,600 a month. I had no rent, no mortgage, and I had another property that paid my car note. I was balling.
My man.
I only had $1,600 a month, but I had no expenses. Like my utilities, cell phone, all that was covered through my expenses. Like it washed that out, and I kept my check 100% to myself. And so that's the biggest misconception for some people when they first start off in real estate. They pack the wrong bag.
Okay, that's a good point.
They pack this what do you call it? They'll pack this overnight bag, right? Thinking they're gonna have success in the morning.
Right.
And really you need to pack that bag for the long stay.
My man.
All right, to get the real bag.
To get the real bag. There it is.
Wow. Yeah. That's good stuff. So look, Mike, I know you we talked earlier, you got another show that you're getting ready to do. So before you go on us, is there any like advice you could give somebody who wanted to say follow in your shoes? So what piece of advice could you give anyone that might be listening to this show now and listening to this show later? What advice would you give them?
Follow the renters, and then you'll find the riches, right? Like, you know, don't just chase after shiny objects. You know, if you get into real estate, understand the demographics, right? That's one of the things, like learn about the crime rate, learn the neighborhood, learn if there's jobs coming, right? Learn if the population is growing, and all of that's readily available. Like the census report, it'll tell you all of that. Because if you don't know what is a good neighbor, you don't know where to start, it will tell you all that information. You know, that's if you want to jump in. But the real, again, you can be successful in anything you want. You want to be a coach, you want to be a consultant, you want to be in real estate, you want to be on flying planes, you want to build $1 million, multi-million, it's yours. But if you don't identify with that, if you don't become that thing, you'll never get there. And so learn your new identity, introduce yourself to your future self, and quit worrying about how. Find your who. Your who will find your how for you.
What about your why?
You. Remember, get rid of that ego, baby.
What about your why? Does your why count?
The why is going to push you through. Because I'm gonna tell you, man, if you ain't excited about it, you're going to get distracted, right? and you're gonna do something else. And then when you in that valley, because you're gonna go in the valley,
100%.
you ain't coming out.
Mm.
You ain't coming out if you ain't got no why.
Right. Wow. All right. So, look, hey, Mike, we thank you. And I know, I mean, we already talked, and I don't want to hold you up. And I appreciate
Yes, sir.
all the knowledge you have dropped and everything. And look, you always welcome to come back. So when you down there in Nassau, wherever you're going to be hanging out at, and you say, hey, let me jump up on the show and tell them what's going on, you're more than welcome. You're a Hall of Famer now for the Iron Sharpening Iron Show and all the knowledge. And we're dropping your links. They're in the chats, and we'll make sure we put it in the description, and we'll have people reaching out to you if they want to learn more. But I truly thank you, and continue to be prosperous, man. I'm excited for you, but I'm trying to figure out how I can hook on my cart to your wagon and keep on going. So I know I can make a couple of dollars or something like that.
Oh, you're making millions, bro.
Yeah, that's it, making millions. So we got to have that mindset. So I appreciate that 100%. So I'm gonna let Michael go. He has his show, his class that he's teaching today. Is that correct? You got your class. Right. All right, so we're gonna let him go off the stage. But we appreciate you being up here with us and hanging out with us, and hopefully we can get you back up here real soon, for sure.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, Mike.
You.
All right, thank you. All right, man. What's up?
So, in the words of, was it Derek Franks?
Oh, yeah.
Act like it's true.
Oh, yeah. That's it.
He just said the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Act like it's true.
Yeah. And that's the thing. We say a lot of times, fake it till you make it, but you don't have to fake it. You can actually walk in that thing. You just act like it's true.
Yeah, just act like it's
true. Walk in it. Yeah. You see the vision. You see where you're trying to get to. And that's pretty much even a Walton. That's how we work with this show. We don't treat this show like, well, you're new to YouTube and you're growing. No, we this is where we want to be. Yeah, and we're going to be there. And it's like, that's how we're going to get there. So let's see if B is ready to come up on the stage. We can close out for today and let B give us our stats for today. But I just wanted, before she comes on the stage, and I know she got it, but I see Anthony Montime been hanging with us, and Niecy Jackson and Jamel Williams just came up on. But let's bring B up on the stage. Hey, B, what's going on?
Hi, how are you?
Hey, B.
So
great show.
Oh, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Man, we got some really good lifetimers in here,
Okay.
Anthony, my time. Always here first. When he's here, he's here. Jared talks. We're going to have him on the show next, I believe.
Yes. He's on the 10th.
The next one. Mr. Aquafunk showed up again. Hello.
My teammate.
Also, it's Lisa Wright. Thank you so much. Brandon of Palm Beach. Here he is.
Brandon.
And of course, our very own Miss Sharon and Miss Niecy.
Yeah.
Hi, ladies. Love you.
All right. Thank you. And welcome back, Jack. Welcome back. She was just in Las Vegas. So she was out in Vegas for a couple of days. So welcome back. And thank you for being on
back.
Came back with a pocket full of money, huh? That's what I'm talking
Hey, take me next time.
Now she can invest in some homes.
There it is.
There you go.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah. So, but I think, and I do see Jamal Williams he just came in. So he just came in. So it's okay. And I know that you've been dropping the links and all for Mike Ealy, and we appreciate Mike being on the stage with us. Hope everyone learned some things today. I surely did. I definitely learned some things, and definitely you'll have to look into investing more and even in that direction. But one thing I did learn is do your homework and get some understanding. Don't just put your money out there and hoping like a crapshoot. We're not going to do that. But this has been a wonderful show. Thanks for everybody who came and hung out with us tonight. You always make my day when I look and see everybody's in the chat. Walt Talks again as usual. You're the man. Be better than Nightbot behind the stage dropping the links. Mike Ealy had to go because he's doing his class. But until next time, which is today is Wednesday, so it'll be Sunday. We'll have Jared Talks on the show, and that's going to be cool to have him up here on the stage with us. So Tune in Sunday for Jared Talks. But until next time, we ask you all to have a blessed rest of your week. We'll see you Sunday. And thank you all for hanging out with us on the Iron Sharpening Iron Show tonight. Thank you. All right.
Night.
Bye-bye.